Okay, well, hey, we're here again with another short video lecture, and in this one is the discussion on Link America Corporation versus Albert. It's 857 Northeast 2nd, 961, Indiana, a 2006 case. It's basically about what we call the long arm statute. Now, I mean, if you really want to go into a lengthy research on the long arm statute, it goes back to a case called International Shoe versus the State of Washington. And so if you want to read up more on this, that would be where to start. You'll probably see something on that in your book. The thing about it is to exert personal jurisdiction over a corporation is different than exerting personal jurisdiction over a person. And so what it all involves is contacts with the state. But it's interesting because in Indiana in 2003, the Indiana Trial Rule 4.4a, which is also called the Indiana Long Arm Jurisdiction Statute Rule, was amended to include the following language, and that is, in addition, a court of this state may exercise jurisdiction on any basis not inconsistent with the Constitution of this state or the United States. And what that's really saying to us is that it has to be consistent with federal due process, which is the 14th Amendment. So anything that pertains to a long arm statute has to be in compliance with the federal 14th Amendment due process clause. And so what this really means is, let's break down long arm statute. This International Shoe, it was a company, but they didn't per se have like their home office in the state of Washington, but they had operations in the state of Washington. They had a business office in the state of Washington. They had a store in the state of Washington. So basically it was not the home office. So International Shoe tried to claim that because they were like, I think, a Delaware corporation, that the state of Washington couldn't bring a lawsuit against them, that they had to go sue them in Delaware. And so what they basically ruled is, no, if you have any contacts, then we can use our long arm and reach out to you in Delaware because you do business in the state of Washington. So right away everybody scurried around and we're trying to get some way to get a long arm statute on the books. And this has been a process over many, many years. This dates way back to the mid-20th century. So basically what we're looking at here then is that it's a clarification of this long arm statute that says whatever we're using, whatever terminology, contacts, whatever we're trying to say, there has to be some kind of a connection there. And so in the LinkedIn case, basically what they're looking at very carefully is that the court is wrestling with or considering this new 4.4 rule that took place in 2003, and then the Link America versus Albert was decided in 2006. So they specifically took up this new interpretation of the long arm statute by the Indiana state rules, which is in the 4.4 range. It's how to obtain personal jurisdiction on a person by serving them with a summons. And let's say in the case of a paternity, there's some cases in Indiana involving paternity where the guy's never even been to Indiana, no contacts with Indiana. You take like a paternity case. Let's say that these two people meet in the military, and the girl's from Indiana and the guy's from who knows where. I actually had a case like this in reverse where they were both stationed in Virginia. They had a child in Virginia, but they were married in Maryland, and they ended up getting divorced. The girl left the military and moved back to good old Converse, Indiana. And so the question then became, well, he went ahead and filed for divorce in, I believe, Maryland, which was his home state, and they entered rules and all the orders and gave him property and did all these different things, and basically I asked to have that set aside based upon the fact that they did not have any jurisdiction over the party. So this is one of the things that's really touchy, especially in divorce, that you can get divorced in basically any state, but you can't get child custody in any state, especially if the child's in Converse, Indiana, and the guy's trying to say that he should have custody of the child in Maryland when the child's not even in Maryland, never been in Maryland, was born in Virginia, and now lives in Indiana. So these are all very complex issues that you can get into, and you've got to be very careful that you have a way of asserting what we call personal jurisdiction. Now, there's a couple different kinds of jurisdiction. There's personal jurisdiction, which this Link case talks about, which is Link America Court versus Albert. But there's also subject matter jurisdiction. So if an incident didn't occur in the state, for example, then you may not have subject matter jurisdiction. If the court has limited jurisdiction, like a city court, let's say, and you're trying to file like $1 million lawsuit over a semi-truck wreck, you can't file that in a city court. It's got to go into a court of general jurisdiction. So this is the difference between subject matter jurisdiction and personal jurisdiction. So as you're looking at this, then the long arm aspect pertains to personal jurisdiction. Can you really obtain service on that person since they don't live in the state? And in the case of businesses, do they really do business in the state? And in this day and age with modern internet and things like that, what effect does that have on it? So that can have a real strong bearing, on the whole situation. So that's what this is about. It's about deciding, should we be able to bring suit in this Link America Court versus Albert. Read the case, find the case, and read it, and then tell me, what do you think it says? And once again, I'm going to give you the full citation. I've got to look here. It's on the last page, of course. And that is the 857 Northeast 2nd 961. It's a 2006 Indiana case. So once again, that's the case. Check it out, and then let's hear what you've got to say about what you find out about this case, and share with us, just like the discussion board question says. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of a running start on it and kind of what it's about, and then you need to come back and share with us your own thoughts and feelings on whether you think the case came out right. Basically tell us who, what, when, where, why, and how of this whole case, and then tell us whether you think that was a right decision. We're going to talk at some point about case briefing, but we're kind of trying to do it in just like real general terms at this time. So what we'd like you to do is just take your best shot here, and then what we'll do is we'll do some work with you in terms of editing and explaining how this ought to be done, and somewhere in the middle of the week we'll share with you what it should look like, and then we'll go from there. So read the case, talk about the case, try to put in what you think is important from the case in your own little kind of a brief within your discussion board, and then I'll show you all when I repost again what the brief should look like. So hey, hope you're enjoying these videos. I think that they're helpful. Most people say so. Let us know, give us a chirp. If you have a question or problem, you can't remember your email address, feel free to contact me at my private email address, and we'll be coming back with some additional presentations, video lectures in the future. So enjoy, talk to you later.